Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be conducting a review on the popular Netflix series Tiger King, which of course, I'm Chicken Man, your host, and I am not real and neither are you. What's that you said? You're not subscribed to my channel? Excuse me. Whoops, I didn't mean to say that. Okay. Anyways, when I first heard of Tiger King, I was like, wait a second. They already made a sequel to The Lion King, didn't they? It was Simba's Pride. So I was thinking, is this a reboot or a sequel to the sequel or a spin-off of the Lion King franchise? And I was just like, what's going on here? Then I learned from an informant of mine that Tiger King was not in fact part of the Lion King universe, and that was a reality documentary about the strange fella Joe Exotic. And here I was transported to the whole world of cats and cat people. I mean, I always knew cat people were crazy, but like not this crazy. Every niche of people has their subdivisions and problems and rivalry, but cat people, I mean, they're not real. I mean, nothing is real. I was basically not prepared for this. So, I do watch the first two episodes, and I was like, dude, this is so boring. It was a documentary that was very information heavy, and these first two episodes were full to the brim with information. Most of it kind of boring, kind of mind numbing, and after the first two episodes, I was like, So I talked to someone I know who watched it, and I was like, dude, that was so boring. How could it possibly be cool and stuff? And then they're like, oh, the show gets better, the story gets better, yada, yada, yada. So I decided to hold my breath and watch the rest of the episodes, and the story did kind of get better, like they said. Now, I will talk about this without spoilers, but there is some really tragic stuff in the show that happens, and this kind of gets overshadowed, I think, but, there's just so much content and craziness because they are documenting all of this drama that had gone on for years and years at this zoo in Oklahoma and just all this crazy stuff. So because of this, I understand why the first two episodes were needed for that context, but once this context is out of the way, things escalate and escalate until it turns into a crazy chaos storm and stuff, and, it gets pretty crazy. But when you get to the bottom of it, you see that, Joe is not really that great of a person. Although he did some good things, he was very flawed and self-centered, and this is what led to this giant crap storm to the demise of others. And I was also thinking, because all these tigers are living in captivity, would it be possible to domesticate tigers over thousands or tens of thousands of years? I mean, think about it. Wolves evolved from dogs, so through centuries of them being by human side. So wouldn't it be reasonable to think all these tigers in captivity would, evolve into something less wild of a tiger, if they just depended on humans? Just a thought. But the real animals of this show are the people, because a lot of them make bad decisions and do bad stuff, whereas the animals are just chilling, and honestly, I kind of felt bad for the animals. The tigers were the graceful ones, and the smarter ones, I would say, than the dumb humans. Although not all the humans in the show were bad or dumb, there were some of the employees that were actually nice, and one of them I even thought was a girl for most of the series until I found out they were actually a guy. So yeah, there's that. A lot of these employee characters at the zoo were easily the best part of it all because you could relate to them more, and they just seemed like omega epic people. But one of my favorite characters was this guy Rick Kirkham, or his name was something like that, I don't know. There was this old guy in some wood cabin talking about everything on the show, and he just seemed like a wise person, and a pretty gangster one as well. So I always liked it when they showed that guy. For some reason, I just felt like a vibe of respect from him, because of all of us, scrambling human beings that act like animals. Out of this, he just actually seemed pretty intelligent. So yeah, the story is crazy, and it shows crazy people doing crazy things in crazy scenarios, and I think the uniqueness of this aspect is what made the show so popular. It shows how madness can get out of hand. The story was messy and all over the place, and at times it was hard to process or digest, but I think they did a pretty good job covering what happened over the years in these zoos, because there was a lot of content to organize, and reality is often messy and all over the place anyways. I have one complaint as well, is that in the Netflix preview, for the show, the music for it, they used the Hall of the Mountain King as a score. Just take that in. Which I guess makes sense, as the situation spirals out of control, which goes along with the music. But really, I'm not trying to nitpick, but who was the intern that picked that song? That song has just been overused too many times, and hearing it again did not bring joy to my ears. Okay, enough of that. Overall, what I liked about the show is it had this, the Rick guy, was like omega epic, and this interesting world of cats that was not real, and drama that I never knew about, and a crazy story that can never be thought out of someone's wildest dreams. Overall, what I didn't like about the show is that sometimes it was boring and long, especially the first two episodes, and then it got better. Lots of information, and frankly, not all this information was interesting, but there was an interesting story, and I guess I do not regret watching it. It was pretty entertaining. I just think it was kind of overrated. Sure, it was crazy and everything, but it was a lot of drama in an almost reality show like way. And while drama is interesting, it goes on for like 8 or 7 episodes, and then it kind of takes a toll on you. But I give props to the people who made this, as that was probably a lot of information and drama and videos and people to interview to make this happen. But I think the series did its job and successfully chronicled or documented the history of Joe Exotic and all that, and there's some more history to come. Now, would I recommend this series to you? If you like drama or cats, then sure, but like maybe not, although maybe yes. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I like the show. It was just okay, though. I don't think it was like the greatest thing in the world. Okay, that's just about it. Make sure to subscribe, and yep, that's just about it.